Alrighty, we have match number 1 of best of 3 with this blue-red deck. We're playing 41 cards with 17 lands, my favorite. Not because it's optimal, but because it's fun. Magic is about having fun. So, we're going to be in match number 1 here of best of 3. So it's going to be 3 matches guaranteed with a blue-red strategy in Shadows over Innistrad Remastered. SIR. Sir. Yes, sir. Pooty pooty. And we're going to be playing first, and we're going to be going first, which is lucky. And we're going to be keeping this hand. It is quite a good hand. I have some removal. I have some tricks. And I can save this for later. And I have my mana. I just need another red source, and we'll be good to go. So this is going to be pretty decent. We're going to wait till we have the scab out to be able to play it. And I actually drew one of the best 2-drops in my entire deck. Thermal Alchemist does tons of damage in this deck. And it's going to be removed if they have any removal at all. And it looks like my opponent does not have removal, which is very fortunate for me. So I'm going to be playing the scab. I don't have a land yet, which is a little unfortunate. I'll be passing the turn back. Now this doesn't immediately draw a land. This does have to investigate. So now they're going to do this mutation, and that's going to be okay. So it's going to be giving -X -0 for the number of cards in your graveyard, but I can also prowess out of it as well. So this is going to be when it dies, or when it enters, it's going to mill 2. So it's going to make this scab a 0/3. And then we're going to ping. And then my opponent, I really want to draw a card this turn anyway. They want to use their graveyard. They're a blue-black strategy, and it would definitely hurt this mutation. But I do need to draw a land, so I'm going to cancel first. I'm going to use this Thermal Alchemist. And then we're going to return, I could either return the scab to my hand, or I could actually return the crow. I'm going to return the crow just for some tempo. It is going to give them the crow again, but I really need to not play my own card. And I did miss on the land drop, which is very annoying. They're playing 17 with my 41 card deck, and I've kept 3. But let's see what happens here. So they are going to go to 4 cards, which is going to make this -2, so it's going to be very hard to grow out of. And actually, they're going to just play a Haunted Dead. It's going to be a 2 bodies, a 2/2, and a 1/1 with a recursive body. And here's a nice flow, which flow works really well against the Haunted Dead. Very strong card in this particular situation. So I'm going to just go like that. I'm going to get rid of the recursive Haunted Dead. And I'm then going to attack with my scab. And we are going to go to blockers. And they're not going to block, I assume. And then we get to grow here and do an additional damage. Doing pretty well even though we're stuck on lands here. I have a number of things to do. If I draw a red source, I can do this. If I just draw any untapped land, I get the scrutiny here. Plus investigate to draw into more land. And we have a number of 5-drops and 6-drops to do things with. I guess that's going to be pretty crazy. This scab's never going to attack again. And unfortunately, they don't have a zombie yet. Dark Salvation was a really good thing for them to mill over. They also did not have a land here. So that is also great. Now, Gissa, this is really tiny, so I could return my own scab. Gissa's going to get a bunch of value if I return the Gissa. So I don't really want to do that in this particular spot. I kind of want to just return my own scab because it is useless on the board right now. And I do need to draw a land. So I'm going to return my own scab to my hand. We still have not drawn land. Pretty unlucky, honestly. We kept a 3-lander. They are at 11 already, though. We're going to take 5 and go down to 14. Could use a land right here. Could kill the Gissa and do some other stuff. That'd be awesome. So if we target this, it costs 1 less to cast. When it dies, return to the battlefield. Return as the drain life curse. So this is something we definitely don't want to kill. So it is quite annoying. That's going to return something, and it's not going to make them discard because I don't have a zombie. I'm actually just going to take inventory here. I really need to draw a land here. Not draw a land, but we did draw a removal spell for the Gissa, which is awesome. Tells your opponent's. Okay, so that's why it's reading, because I can bounce this for a discount, which actually is quite good. I could bounce this for, or I could just kill the Gissa. I like killing the Gissa here instead of using the scrutiny on the witch, although the scrutiny on the witch is quite good. So I think I'll use the scrutiny on the witch this turn. We're going to discard a Devil's Playground, which is going to work towards our graveyard count. We have everything attacking. I'm going to Thermal Alchemist. Then I'm going to investigate and shrink that. Go ahead again with the Thermal Alchemist. So now that the 7, pretty low life total, especially if we hit a untapped red source. We're able to kill Gissa and then do 3 to their face. Now we could, if we untap any source, then we can go Scab plus bounce on the witch. Quite nice. Or even Scab plus kill Gissa. We've been fortunate so far that they haven't had a removal spell for the Thermal Alchemist. However, unfortunate that we have not hit a 4th land. This is going to be activated if you only have 4, if you have Delirium, which they do not. They have 3. But we did hit the mountain, which is quite good. So now I have to consider, this is a 3 damage to the face. I think I'm going to play the Scab here. And represents quite a bit of damage. We can either kill the Gissa here, or we could bounce the witch and they have to discard a card. It would become a 3/4, which would block the stranger here. Collected Defiance represents 3 damage plus kill something. That is quite good as well. The Scab means they probably can't attack here. If they have a removal spell, they'll probably use it on the Scab here. And I would just be able to bounce the witch. And that was like the worst case scenario here. So now I'm going to have to ping, bounce the witch. We're going to have to discard here. I'm going to ping again. They're going to go to 5. Then they get to attack me down to low life total. And I now need to hit a red source. Okay. Now they have to transform this, which in response I can Lightning Axe for that. So if I play the Dawson, I die on board. The Collected Defiance will do 4 and 3. I can do 4 and 3 to their face. Force them to use the 3, and I can Lightning Axe. So I think that's I'm gonna have to do with the Stitchwing here. I'm going to escalate, and we're going to go 4, 3, done. Creature, opponent. And then we're going to end of the turn. Now we have a 3/4 as well as a 5/4. Both are quite good. It's going to be tapped, however. And we're very low, where now the witch actually hurts us quite a bit. For them to try to kill us now, they have to actually activate this. And so now I get to discard a card. I will discard the 3/4. I will go down. And this is discard 2 cards and return it tapped. So I can play around removal. Zombies have menace. Shouldn't matter here. So we could draw a card and also activate this, which plays around a sorcery speed for a piece of removal. Or I can play the Dawson here. But I think I rather play around sorcery speed removal. So that's what we're going to do here. Quite a good card in their zombie deck. They have a lot of zombie synergy. They're going to play the Accursed Witch here. They're going to play a 2/2. In response, I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to activate the Stitchwing. I'm going to discard 2 cards. The game should be over. There's a Bedlam Reveler for 2 mana, in case we needed some more in this situation. But what a close game that actually was. And it was very close because we missed a lot of drops. However, Thermal Alchemist did carry that game. Now we're looking at our sideboard. And the Make Mischief does not have a great targets with the 1 damage. Not even sure if I want to keep this Make Mischief in. The 2/4s don't even block very well. Definitely the 1/4 of the pages is fine here. The Fog Walkers might be quite good here. The Convolute might be okay. I think the Make Mischief doesn't really have that many targets, so I'm going to play the Convolute over it. And then I'll just submit it. I think my deck looks pretty good. I think it was quite a tight game because of the land situation, but I think we handled it all right. Got a lot of points in there that ended up adding up over time, especially with that prowess guy. And then some of their decisions helped us get those extra points in. So I think it worked out pretty well. And let's see how game number 2 goes. Powerful cards that game was the bounce draw card. What like that 3 mana tempo is really strong, especially with the Thermal Alchemist on the board. And the 2/3 prowess that can grow and attack, that one seems very good. Like it can already be a 4 power by itself with just 2 blue. Despite getting even better. We also had tons of removal, which did... So good removal. I have 3-drop, 4-drop, which is strong. Now I have even better 3-drop, 4-drop. I have double red this time, so that's going to be... Fortunately, no 2-drop. But this is not Phyrexia will be 1. Not the end of the world, even though it is kind of bad. So now, depending on what they do, we might just drag under here instead of going with the scab. Although, it looks like this scab does block quite well. So I will play this the scab. However, bouncing is also good because I need to hit a land drop for my Geist. I'm kind of stuck in a squeeze. I kind of want to get the removal out before Geist, though. And the drag under is better to bounce something that's more expensive. I don't want to bounce the Ghoul Razor. And bouncing the Accomplice is not that good. On the other hand, where we kept 3, even on the draw this time. So I'm going to block this one. And if they have a trick, they have a trick. Otherwise, they might have recursion. I don't quite remember all the tricks in this format. There might be a -1/-1, but I'm willing to make that exchange. Ghoul Razor is a really cool addition of the remastered set. So Dark Salvation is going to be on there. Okay, that is quite good. It's going to be a 1/3. I'm going to block every single time. However, I could just mill 3. Although this is way more powerful. Although it doesn't kill, so I'm actually going to play the Brute because I care less about it. And this will get things in the graveyard for my graveyard matters. And it blocks both of these quite well. So like Stitchwing is a graveyard matters synergy, as well as getting 2 sorceries inside of there as well. This has +1/+1 as, and if you have Delirium and Menace. So here I could go Flow on the Foul Bloods. And these are all sorceries, right? Yeah. Or I could just set up with the Geists. And then just hang back for one more turn. I think that's quite good. 3 mana card. Okay, so it looks like they are using a mutation on a Geist, which is not the best target. This goes really strong. And we'll just take 3 here. Pretty happy to do so. Alright, so this is a good one to actually kill, especially with the flow. However, we could just bounce the Foul Bloods here, and that would actually make it, and then get the Stitchwing back. It would actually be quite a good turn. Or we could bounce the 2/2, and we could actually just double bounce here. We bounce the 2/2. Then we bounce the Foul Bloods. Then swing in for 3. Actually are going to take the trade here. Good for me. These lands are good because they can be a Stitchwing, or I can use a Collective Defiance with them. They replay the Foul Bloods, and I get to kill the Foul Bloods. Or I can kill it with the Accomplice with the flow as well. But in this situation, I'm just going to play Devil's Playground. And we'll attack for the Brute. They know to block now. It's fine. I'm not going to play a land because I want to use the lands for the Stitchwing. Or the Collective Defiance, like I just mentioned earlier. There's Gissa and Geralf. So now I'm going to do Flow on the Accomplice. And I'm going to do Collective Defiance. I'm going to do 4 damage and Rummage. We're going to do target player. Yes. Creature. Then we'll attack all except for the Geists. I can bounce. That player discards a card if you can. So I can bounce the Geists if I would like to. Or I can just keep that for the Stitchwing. I can also Stitchwing now and X equals 2 for the Judgment. I can just play the Alchemist this turn. Lots of options. They still have 3 cards in hand, and I just have a bunch of Devils attacking. Didn't hit my like big banger type cards. Bouncing the Geist is actually looking quite good here. I'm going to just attack here. They have. These Devils are doing a lot of damage. They have Haunted Dead. I could just, I think I'm just going to, I think I'm going to Stitch Wing here and discard the Avacyn's Judgment and the land. And then I can Madness for 2 and go 1/1. Which is a bummer I didn't play the land, I guess, and discard this. I don't know. Get in for 4. Now the compelling is turned on. This will make it 1/1 if it comes back down, but they had to discard a card, so they won't actually have it. I think I'm just going to attack all. They don't have good blocks. And then I get to kill the Haunted Dead. I get to in their face. I get to mill 2 more cards. We're at 12 cards now. And I'm going to pass the turn in case I want to bounce one of my things. And then turn your zombie card at random from the graveyard to your hand. Actually Haunted Dead, which is bad. Then they wanted anything else. And I'll go to my turn. I'll ping them. And I will bounce the Ghoul Razor. Then I will ping them again. And the game should be over. Boom! So that was match number 1 of our best of 3. And that's all I'm going to be able to record for now. But I will be recording back later. I have some stuff to do today. So that's why we're going to be doing it in segments. But thanks so much for tuning into this video. Breaks it up pretty nicely to do it by match as well. But that was a very cool blue-red deck. Match number 1 went pretty smoothly. Had some mana situations in game number 1. But game number 2 went like we planned. Lots of extremely strong threats in Stab and Geists. And lots of good things to do with Reveler and Docent. And just a lot of spells in general. A lot of good tempo. And worked out pretty well. So thanks for tuning in for this video. Make sure to check out the descriptions for the Discord link, twitch.tv/zmagic as well, where I go live. And make sure to follow, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'll catch you on the next video for match number 2.